Hello everyone and welcome to a video going over every single thing that's added by the creation upgrade for Fallout 4, which I've been struggling with for the past couple of hours. It's just not wanted to install. It seems to have all the stuff in here now, though I count 133 creations and everything says 150 plus, but I've gone through the list and I can't find anything that's missing, so we might have just been lied to. Before I go through all of these, which I'll do individually, I am going to show you on screen the pricing for both UK pounds and American dollars. It's quite a lot. The first version is if you have the standard game DLC, then you get the creation upgrade, and that gives you all of the Creation Club stuff. If you don't have the DLC, if you just have the base game, then there's the anniversary upgrade version, which is all of the standard DLC and the Creation Club stuff. And then the full anniversary edition is if you don't own the game at all and want to buy it as all one big bundle, then you can spend a boatload. I was going to swear then, but I just about stopped myself. Alright, that all covered. Now let's go over this, and just from me scrolling through, yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of paint jobs and stuff. I believe I counted 117 different... No, sorry. 104 different paint jobs and 13 dogs. So yeah, if you want the short version of this, the creation upgrade is 99% paint jobs. But hey, we're going to go over every single one now, starting with the anti-material rifle. In life, are our actions predetermined? Is our fate sealed? Or are we mere puppets to a preordained destiny? And really, does it matter if we end up with a devastatingly powerful anti-material rifle? And yeah, this is as Zax, and there's a little quest there, and yeah, this is kind of nice. It's a nice sniper rifle. Isn't that lovely? This is, I hate to say it, one of the better creations we're gonna have in here, and it's literally just a good sniper. Next up is the Arcade Workshop Pack, which, okay, does have a picture. Yeah, these are arcade games and some posters. That's it. Oh, what you thought I was going to keep talking. No, this is... Yeah, and you will notice as well, some of the stuff it says installed. If it says installed, that means that this was already given away free in the update we had a year or two ago, or just as a free creation at some point, because I've not gone through and downloaded individually all of the new stuff that's just been added. So if it says installed, this is something you probably already had as well. Alright, now we're on to the armor paint jobs, so I'm going to go through these quickly. First up is Aquatic Camo, which, really, there we go, yep, is one we already had. What a surprise, that's what it looks like. We have the Army Paint Job, which, oh, come on, I know it exists. Okay, I might just have to cut ahead, because, yeah, this is the Army Paint Job. God, everything loads so slowly on the Creations menu. It is horrible. I had to wait for like 5 minutes for stuff just to load in like this, because this is what you get. The new Creations menu is terrible. This is going to be a very negative review. If you want the short version, don't buy this upgrade. I've been waiting 2 full minutes for the Atom Cat's armor paint job to just load in any images. This is something I already had, and it just won't show me now, so from here on out, we're just dealing with these little images. So yep, this is the Atom Cat's paint job. We then have Bats, which is a nice design. I will say I like some of these designs. Your Brotherhood of Steel version, this is another old one that's been around for a while. Children of Atom, where, oh, what gorgeous art. I love all the detail there. I don't suppose it's going to load in and show me what this new one looks like? No, you're not going to show me? Wow, what a surprise. We have Desert Camo, which I don't like the look of. Enclave, which I'm sure is popular. The Gunner's Paint, another old one, along with Hot Rod Pink, also an old one. Hot Red Flames, I mean, it is my channel colour, so I do kind of love it, but still just a paint job. Hot Rod Shark, which is nice from the Power Armour version, now regular armour. Institute version for the armour. The Jack-o'-lantern, very Halloweeny, nice. Minutemen, which I'm a fond of. Nuka Cherry, which does look cool, I've used that a lot because the actual side pieces have the Nuka-Cola girl, which is nice. The Pikmin armour, which I really don't like the look of. There's going to be a weapon set for this and it looks much better. Railroad armour, which is nice to kind of blend in while still having synth and metal, leather and combat armour. Riley's Rangers, which is a nice Fallout 3 throwback. She, which is a Fallout 2 throwback even. Shoutouts in the comments to anyone who remembers the She. We have Swamp Camo, which, yeah, Tunnel Snakes, which they've really not got a particularly good design there, and Vault-Tec, which is an old one. Those are the armour paint jobs. In terms of dogs, which are literally just you find dogs and adopt them for your settlement. Once again, images just don't load in. God, this is such a worthwhile upgrade. We have the Black Labrador, Border Collie, and Boxer. There will be more, as you can see, but this is alphabetical. We do have Brahmin armour, which is, you're going to armour your Brahmin, and there's a quest alongside it, which is pretty nice. That's a dangerous racetrack, though. And you can give unique names to your Brahmin, and this is the Bethesda version of unique, so there's actually a limited number, but you can name your Brahmin, which is a nice touch. There's the Bunker Homeback, which is just a little house of thing. The fact nothing loads in, God, the creations menu sucks. Like, look at that. I have good internet. No one's even here at the moment. It's just me as well. There is nothing else using the internet right now. And it can't load an image. Creations is... Oh, it's such a bad upgrade. Can you tell I'm not sponsored by Bethesda? Oh, lovely. We then have the CR-74L combat rifle, which is just, an upgraded version of a combat rifle. Capital Wasteland Mercenaries actually sounds interesting, because the Capital Wasteland is once again from Fallout 3, and there's a ragtag group of mercenaries who need to defend GNR. This is the General News Radio? I cannot remember the name of it, but there's outfits, some, Fallout 3 outfits, which I actually love those, and a quest to go along with it, so I'm curious about this one. Captain Cosmos, which you may recognise from Fallout 76 if you do that, and this is a unique weapon, outfit, and set of power armour. It's going to look like him, and I'm not going to bother waiting for this to load in. Charlestown Condo, which is another just location down the road from Bunker Hill. I'm sorry I'm laughing, but look at it, it's so broken. It just doesn't work, it's so stupid. Yes, we have Chinese stealth armor, then a chocolate Labrador, a coffee and donuts workshop pack. This is apparently like 75 new items. This is like a lot of, good stuff for workshops. So if you're a camp builder, that's kind of nice. I mean, 76 is a lot more stuff. If you're big into camps, I'd recommend that game over buying this upgrade, because it probably is the same price at this point. But yeah, this does have a lot of stuff going on, which is nice. The Cyber Dog, which is the most interesting dog of them all. The Dalmatian. The BFG from Doom, which technically I don't think is even supposed to be a part of this, but they did this as an additional thing on top of it. So there's the BFG from Doom, the Doom Marine Armour, and the Fantasy Hero set, which is the Skyrim bits and bobs. We then have a Golden Retriever, graphic t-shirt pack, which has been in the game for a while. I think that came with the old update as well. A Great Dane. We have Gunners vs Minutemen, which is actually like quest stuff. Slightly, I believe. I've not played through this, but this looks like it could be something of note. And this is something people missed from the main game and which was in, so that's nice. The handmade shotgun, which is basically just a double barrel shotgun but slightly better. Holiday workshop backpack, so lots of Christmas trees and stuff you can put up. Another workshop pack just for generic stuff like fridges and plants. Horsepower armour, which does make a fun neighing sound. I have done this quest before, it's nice but nothing special. There's a husky as another dog. The Institute now has plasma weapons, because you know how Institute weapons are so great. I am curious if these are going to be better or worse than standard plasma gear, because Institute weapons are just so much worse than laser guns. We have the Ion gun here, which will be interesting. Apparently uses a fusion core, so gotta be good. The Manuel rifle set, which are very like World War I style rifles, from what I can see there. Modern furniture, which I feel like this stuff was already in the game, honestly. This does not look distinctly different. A backpack, which could be helpful, especially as someone who plays a lot of survival mode. Extra carry weight's nice full. Morgan's spacesuit. This is Morgan Yu from Prey 2017, and this is basically just a hazmat suit, but shown up differently. Neon Flats, which, is actually the Heart of Good Neighbor high-tech cyber-themed apartment whose space is dominant as mine. This is, just a fancy location along with some workshop items, so that's nice. There's also the Noir Penthouse, which is... where is it? Does it tell you? Oh, it doesn't tell you on this one. Okay, but apparently this is somewhere out there. Bunch of Nuka-Cola items for workshop as well. The pint-sized slasher creation. I'm not sure if this actually has like a full-blown quest, but there is a quest. Wait, Ottolino did this. I think I know who Ottolino is. I believe they're a friend of Victoria Spongecake, who's another gaming creator. That's kind of fun. I'm gonna have to double check that soon. We're now on to Pip Boy Paint, so we're going to go quickly through these. We have the Abraxo paint job, the Aquatic Camo paint job, the Arcjet paint job, the Art Deco paint job, the Blue paint job, the Children of Atom paint job, the Chrome paint job, the Corvega paint job, the Cruiser paint job, the Desert Camo paint job, the 5-star Red paint job, the Green paint job, the Grey Tortoise paint job, the Grognak paint job, the Haida paint job, the Hawaii paint job, the Man-to-Man paint job, the Mistress of Mystery paint job, the Neon Sunrise paint job, the Nuka-Cola paint job, the Orange paint job, the Patriotic paint job, the Phenyl Resin paint job, the Pink paint job, the Pop paint job, the Purple paint job, the Red paint job, the Red Rocket paint job, the Riley's Ranger paint job, the Silver Shroud paint job, the Tan paint job, the Inspector paint job, the Tribal paint job, the Vim paint job, the Vim Refresh paint job, the Yellow paint job, and the Adventure paint job. That is too many paint jobs for my Pip Boy. I like choice, but this is the reason why it's over 150 creations. And if you thought that wasn't enough, we've now got the Power Armour paint jobs. We have Air Force, Blue, Green, Inferno, Orange, Patriotic, Pink, Pit Raider, Purple, Red, Scorched Sierra, Tan, and Yellow. It's mostly paint jobs. We then have a new weapon, the Quake Thunderbolt. This is from Quake, the series of shooters. Railroad Clandestine Couture, which, yeah, is something to do with a secret agent delivering a package to the railroad or siding with an institute. This is actually like some quest-based stuff, it sounds like, but this one doesn't say quest design. It does have new railroad outfits though, so that's something. Repurposed Power Armor helmets are basically Power Armor helmets that you wear outside of Power Armor, and I do like this. This is genuinely the sort of thing where I'm like, yeah, if you had 150 things like this, where it's just a nice little upgrade, doesn't need to be huge, but it makes a substantial difference and is kind of cool, I'd be more on board. Instead, it's mostly paint jobs. We then have Sea Scavengers, which is, yeah, cross the trenches of a glowing sea, shadows tread silently through the wasteland, follow their tracks through waves of a radiated desert, and learn the story of those caught in their clutches. And it comes with outfits, and a 12.7mm submachine gun! Yeah, this is another quest with some gear alongside it. A Sentinel Control System Companion. I think this might be the only, like, yeah, non-dog follower sort of thing. Actually, all the dogs are just for your workshop, so yeah. This is half robot, half human. Cool. This seems nice. It's something. The Settlement Ambush Kit is, yeah, just specific radio beacons or bait at your settlements. You can lure enemies in and have your automated defenses cut them to ribbons. That is actually pretty cool. This is something that would let you, you know, actually have your settlements be attacked, because I find that's something that's very random and rarely happens in Fallout 4. We then have Shroud Manor as another location, Solar Cannon as another weapon. I feel like this is something to do with it. Vault Suit customization lets you put different numbers on the back of your Vault Suit and different colours. We then have Virtual Workshop, which this is actually split into like 4 or 5 different things. But yeah, travel to new worlds from the comfort of your settlement with the VR Workshop. Transport yourself to a series of exotic landscapes such as the desert island and the iconic GNR Plaza from the Wasteland. So I'm very curious about this, because it tells you like you get to see new places. I don't know how much interacting you get to do with them. We're now onto weapon paint jobs and we're almost done. Aquatic Camo, Bats, Children of Atom, Desert Camo, Enclave, Jack-o'-lantern, Pickman, and this one does look a lot better than the armour, Riley's Rangers, She, Swamp Camo, and Tunnel Snakes. And then finally, the Zayton Arsenal, which is just basically the weapons from Fallout 3 or from Fallout 76 now as well, which is a bunch of alien weaponry, so not just the alien blaster. And that appears to be everything that's included in the Creation Club update that you have to pay a bunch of money for. It is not worth it in my opinion. If you haven't figured that out already, I'll just make it very clear. Definitely not worth it. I am, however, going to be playing through with some of this stuff. Over on the second channel, Bad Company Gaming, I am doing Anniversary Bingo, where it's just going to be me doing a playthrough, trying to deal with lots of this new stuff, and I've got a little bingo card to fill out, and once I've filled out 5 lines in a row, or 5 squares in a row, then I hit bingo and the run's over. So take a look at that if you want to see what it's actually like for me playing through with this. but I'm going to call it there because I'm feeling miserable about this update. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, hit the like button if you appreciated me just going through all of this quickly so you don't have to, and as always, thanks for watching. Sarge out.